Going out of tune, sorry. So, yeah, I picked this up. I set this up earlier today, so we still got a stretching out issue with the strings. What is it? It's a Xaviere now, or Xaviere, whatever you call it. Now, you know that I've tried the acoustics before. I've had 2 videos now on the acoustics from Guitar Fetish, the Xaviere line. And, you know, people have been saying, why don't you try their electrics? You know, see if you have any different opinions about them. So I picked out this one, and I have to give you a bit of a disclaimer on this, a caveat. I did pick it from their, what do you call it, their clearance, which seems to be the only thing they have for sale these days. It's just, they seem to be doing a lot of clearance stuff. So it did have issues. Now, be very careful when you go to Guitar Fetish and you buy some of their clearance or blame guitars, and they have, you know, many. They have the slick guitars, they have these electric, they have bodies, they have acoustics, they have the lower range acoustics that they've bought out from other warehouses, and then they have the Xaviere line, the solid top stuff. And you click on it and you see what your discount is for it, but you have to click on the big word that says description and read it carefully, because one thing I don't like about Guitar Fetish is they don't mark down enough for some very, very serious damage. For instance, I bought this one because it just said that it had sharp fret ends and a loose pickup, missing pickup spring. Stuff that I could fix easily, and it was marked down, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 from the normal price. And that's stuff that I can fix quickly because I can do setups and I can clean up these frets and everything. I did have to grind these were terribly sticking out, but it did say that on the listing. But I noticed as I was looking through, they have guitars. Say this guitar here is $379. Their regular price, they claim they're $555. I'm pulling these prices out of my ass, but let's say this is the list price on this. According to them, is $555, and they're selling it for $379 markdown. So they put it on their clearance, and they mark it down to $329 or $299 or something like that, which for this guitar was fine because it had fixable stuff on it, stuff that I could take care of fairly quickly. But what bothers me about them is they'll have a guitar with a cracked neck here, serious crack, which is a structural issue, or a crack up here perhaps, or a crack in the top if it's an acoustic, or a gouge out of the back, or maybe some lining stripped out. I mean, serious high repair stuff, and they'll only mark it down $20, $30, $40. It's just absolutely insane. For me, if a guitar is cracked through the neck here, it's weakened and it needs a serious repair. And not all guitar repair people will take that on. I mean, you've got guys on YouTube that do a lot of neck repair stuff, and they'll inject glue, super glue, into these, or they'll break them off and spline them here. I've seen Ted Woodford do a few of those. Same up here, but it's serious repair stuff. Once you've got a crack in a guitar, it's not even worth half of its price anymore. It's greatly devalued, and the guys at the Guitar Fetish don't seem to understand this. If you're selling an acoustic guitar, let's say a cedar top acoustic guitar for $300, and it has a cracked top, or a cracked back, or a cracked side, I mean all the way through the wood, it's you can't just mark it down to $250. It's not worth that anymore. It's not even worth half. I wouldn't pay $150 for one of those. The reason being is I can fix the crack. I can close the crack, cleat it, but once it's got a crack on it, no one's going to pay you anywhere near original price. There's no point when people can just buy a new one or a guitar without a crack in it. So these companies need to understand, and there's the Guitar Fetish is selling some electrics with serious issues as well, and they're only knocking $50, $60, $70 off. You can't do that. You can't do that. I mean, if you've got something that is has a warped neck, or a cracked headstock, or a cracked neck, or so, say a couple of them, the bridges were mounted wrong, so that the string travel through the neck to the nut is slightly off, so you've got, say, one of the E strings closer to the edge of the fretboard and the other one way in. That is a serious job. You have to pull the bridge plugs out and tap the holes, and then plug the holes and then re-tap. That's not something that just any hobbyist can do, and that's a serious repair. So that's the one thing I want to make really clear if you're going to buy these blems or seconds, whatever they're calling them, damaged guitars even, from Guitar Fetish. Read the description and make sure you look at all the photos that they provide, because they don't want to return these guitars. They're giving you full disclosure on the issues, but they make it hard to find. You have to go do a couple of clicks to get to it. So with that out of the way, why did I get this guitar? Well, a couple of reasons why. First of all, it has these GFS, what are they called? Screaming cap or something? Quick fix or quick plug pickups. No soldering, and you can switch these out. You can buy any pickups from Guitar Fetish. Remember, they are a parts place as well, and you can mix and swap. So that's kind of a nice feature, to not have to resolder your pickups if you want to try different pickup combinations in here. Also, I've heard that the hardware is pretty good on these, and it does seem to be pretty decent, pretty rugged. It has a nice cap switch here. The knobs are pretty nice as well, these deep amber. Let me give you a closer look at this. These deep amber knobs, and this is a quilt top, and this is not a veneer. I saw a video, I can't remember which videographer did it, but they took the pickup out. It might have been Darryl Barone. He took the pickup out and he measured, and it's a full thickness cap on this. It's not just a veneer, so it's a proper maple cap. This one's the quilt. They do have it in flamed maple as well. This is quilted. It's not high figure, and the book matching is not perfect, and the figure is not terribly attractive. I mean, up here in the guitar, you can see the quilt pattern. Down here you have sort of, it goes into that odd sort of V flame thing. So it's a quilt flame mix. It's not the greatest book match in the world. It's not the greatest finish in the world, but it is a full thickness maple cap. I thought it was an ebony neck, but it's not. It's black walnut. So that's a little bit more rare. It does have, it says locking tuners on the website, but I think these are just fairly standard, but they're decent. It has nice inlays in there. It's very, very heavy, as a lot of Les Pauls tend to be. It's a mahogany body, and it really is sort of put together. You can see, maybe this is a better view of the other side. You can see there's like 6 pieces in there. You know, it's not a one piece or anything like that. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 pieces in that body. So the lumber is not, you know, it's a nice chunky guitar, but the lumber is pretty much pieced together. The plates in the back are recessed, but they're slightly uneven. So some of the work on here could have been better, but this is a $300 guitar, and if you get the fixer-upper one, you might even get it for as low as $250 or $230 or something like that. And then finally, something you don't see on a Les Paul, particularly this price, is the very functioning coil taps. both pickups. So just gives you, it splits the humbuckers. So you've got coil splits or coil taps on both of those pickups. That's nice. That's another reason I got it too. I don't think I've ever had a Les Paul with style guitar with the coil splits. I'm not sure if people buy a Les Paul, to get that single coil sound, but I thought it was interesting that they offer it. Again, these are highly moddable, and you get people probably switching out pickups, whether they use the quick plug stuff from GFS or if they put their own stuff in there. Probably people fix up these tuners, all the normal mod stuff. The downside of this guitar is that, and again, it was a blem or a second, is that the frets were pretty bad. The fret ends were really bad, particularly up here, really protruding. I had to really grind them. And also the action was really, really high. The string angle is really weird, and then the pickups don't angle to be perpendicular with the string. So the back part of the pickup sits closer to the string than the bottom. I don't know if I can show you that. You can see that there. Not a big issue, but there are just some small technical issues on these guitars. Again, it's still stretching out and everything. But before this video goes too long, I just wanted to check out one of these Xaviere electrics, because I've seen their acoustics, and I think it's okay. I think it's pretty interesting as Les Paul style guitars go. It's got some flaws. It's got some finish issues that could have been better. Some construction issues that could have been better. But it's a cheap guitar. Again, just be really careful buying from them, because they have some horrendous damaged guitars that they're only knocking down, a few dollars, which I just find unconscionable. I mean, they should really blow those things out. It would take a skilled luthier to fix some of the stuff that they're selling, and I don't think they should be selling cracked necks and things like that for $20, $30, $40 off. They should be selling those at a fraction of the price. But I guess they're trying to recoup their losses. And you have to wonder why they have so many damaged guitars and very few new guitars to offer on their site as well. I mean, that's going to raise a few eyebrows. It's normal. You see that also on other mail order sites as well, but it's particularly prevalent with Guitar Fetish. So anyway, this is the what is this one? This is the Xaviere PRO510. PRO510. I think the 500 is the flame and the 510 is the quilt top. Heavy, really chunky guitar, this one. Neck feels nice. Again, it does have the gloss neck, so some of you might want to steel wool that down to a satin. I know a lot of people like the satin finish on the neck. It's got the black faced headstock, which is a choice that a lot of manufacturers go with now, rather than trying to match it to the body. People are split on that. It's not as nice of a figure as I was hoping it would be, but it's not unpleasant. I don't tend to go for these yellowy, TV yellow guitars. I was hoping it would be more natural. It's slightly yellowed. I guess they're going for sort of an antique shellac type of finish. It's not bad. I prefer it a little bit more natural and see more of the wood. But yeah, not a bad guitar. I like the coil tap feature. I think that's the thing I like most about these, and the fact that you can switch the pickups in and out. But again, just be careful if you're buying from these guys. Make sure that you know what you're getting, because I'm not sure if you buy a blem or a second or a damaged guitar and you say, hey, you know, I didn't know it was this damaged, it's not really worth the price you sold it to me for, I don't know if they'd take it back. I don't see how they could refuse it, but they might make it difficult. They might make you pay the shipping or something. So the key thing is to really study the description of the guitar and look at all the pictures, because they do take a good series of pictures for each damaged guitar that they sell. But anyway, here it is, the Xaviere PRO510 Les Paul type guitar. See you on the next one.